What's good, my Regal kings and queens? Welcome to Zed Regal Mindset. Now, this is the place where the mindset, it always matters. Now, today we're going to talk about navigating toxic relationships. This has been a pattern from the day that I was born. From the moment I was born and I came into this earth, I was surrounded by toxic relationships. Do you know what I mean? My father, he was an empath, highly religious. But my mother, she was the blueprint for narcissism in my life. I didn't realize that this is what it was until later on in my life. But as I am where I am here today, I now fully understand what I was subjected to from a child. And almost every relationship, close relationship from my mother after that, up until recent years, it's been my path to self-mastery. And I'm so grateful for that path, because without these lessons, without these toxic relationships, it wouldn't have allowed me to see, feel, go through and understand what I was going through. It wouldn't allow me to have to put up these boundaries to protect myself, to protect my energy, to protect what I'm working towards from people who didn't want to see me rise. We find these people in everyday life, and especially narcissist people. Sometimes we don't even know that we are in a relationship, in a toxic relationship, because it's normal. For me, toxic relationships was normal because that's what I was born into. Do you understand? My story is my journey, so I hold nothing back. It's the truth. And the truth shall set you free, as they say. You get me? So my mum, she was, highly materialistic. She needed to have the latest shoes. If I remember when I used to go into her wardrobe, there would be millions, well, it felt like millions of shoes everywhere. Brand new shoes, unworn they look like. Maybe they got worn once, but they were unworn. Them time their ballet was the thing. A bit like Louis V right now or something like that. You know what I mean? She had a whole heap of them. Fur coats, everything. Marble tables. She needed to have the best things. You know what I mean? She needed to be around the center of attention. That's what I got from her. But me, I wasn't the center of her attention. I didn't feel no love. I didn't feel no positive energy towards me. It was always, I felt like I was inconvenienced, like I was in the way. It was always, go and do this for me. I need you to go down Shumat Road and pick up some groceries. I need you to go down Rye Lane and go and get some things. I need you to clean the house. I need you to clean the room. As a matter of fact, children should be seen and not heard. Go to your room. I don't want to see you. I don't want to hear you. There was never any love. There was never any affection. Do you understand? These are the foundations that grew me. I've always had intuitive abilities. I always knew what was going to happen before they would happen. For example, I'd say to my mum, somebody's about to come to the house. It's A, B, or C. She'd look at me like, yeah, tap your eyes. Don't chat fart. What would happen? Doorbell would ring. That person would come. You know what I mean? I would always know what was going to happen before it's happened, but these gifts and abilities were always dismissed. They were never acknowledged, and it was always dumbed down. Move, you know what I mean? Well, stop talking. They didn't know how to deal with it. These are some of my gifts. So I learned to say, okay, you don't want to hear it. I'll go into my shell, but I will still practice these gifts within me and see that they would happen. I just wouldn't say anything. So I learned how to be silent. I learned how to observe. I learned how to feel the energy of people and work with it and around it. You understand? I learned how to understand myself and my gifts and abilities from a very young age. Sometimes talking don't get you nowhere. Sometimes you just need to look and see and just check that you're right for yourself. You understand? So navigating toxic relationships. Moved out of home, ran away, left home because it got too much. At that time I had a broken leg and I just really couldn't take it. Moved up to the West Country. Got there. I thought I was going into, love and that kind of thing. I ended up with my brother, my older brother. I didn't realize at the time that he was also a hybrid narcissist, which I later found out in the years to come. But he was one of the worst narcissists in my life. You know what I mean? He used to call me the golden child. I understand why he called me the golden child now, because I was just full of gifts and blessings that he didn't have. And it caused jealousy in him. You know what I mean? And envy. Remember, I'm his younger brother, This was my reality. But when I came to the West Country, he looked after me. He put me up. He put a roof over my head and all of these things. But within that, there was elements of, sly bullying. And there was elements of trying to shape me in who he was. But that's not who I was. Do you get me? But I'm a young and impressionable youth. You know what I mean? I've got a time limit on before I reach the age of 40 to be in a wheelchair. So my Harley Street doctor told me. So I'm just experiencing life through the eyes of love. Do you know what I mean? Through the eyes of acceptance. Everyone I came across, it was like, okay, this is how you are. I accept how you are. I don't know who you are, but I accept how you are with love. I always saw the good in people. Didn't really watch the badness because, I can't change that. But I can see something in you, so that's how I would deal with people. Some people thought it was weak. Some people thought, I don't know what they thought. It doesn't really matter, because either way, it helped shape me and it helped me understand patterns in people. You know what I mean? The toxic patterns in people, how they affect me. Do you understand? And how I needed to navigate in order to move away from these toxic relationships and be something else, be someone else, and be in a different environment. Most of the time, you have to go through things in order to really know what it is. You get me? Toxic people can come with smiles. Do you know what I mean? Some of the most toxic people in my life, I didn't even know they were narcissists. They'd be around me trying to do the most, trying to make themselves the most useful, smiling, laughing, being very humorous, making themselves, useful to you. But behind closed doors, behind your back, wholly per negative talk, wholly per trying to put you down, put your name. I'll give you an example. See, my brother, when I started doing massage, okay, I've left the road life. I'm thinking, who am I? What am I good at? You understand? I've always heard the voice of God within me. Always. This voice has always guided me and I've always listened. So I set about learning how to do music, set up my record label, Catchy Creations, working with multiple artists, and I learned how to use my hands. I was always good with my hands. The ladies loved the massages and all of that. So I said, you know what? Let me go to college. Let me learn how to use my hands properly so I can set up a business from this. You know what I mean? I'm good with them. I don't know where it can go. Let me do it. So I set up this massage business, done the course. Immediately I set up the business. I bought the mobile couch, everything that I needed. I wrote letters to all of the local companies to try and see if I could get in and get some clientele base, because that's the only thing I thought to do, or the best thing I thought to do. Managed to get into a company, Intel. So as I'm doing this, my brother's not liking it. Well, I didn't know he wasn't liking it. So I remember giving him a massage. I've only ever given him one massage. See? His thing was, oh, you're too muscle up. You know what I mean? And I was probably a bit bigger than I am now. But that's irrelevant. It's not about your size. It's about you. It's about how you apply pressure. It's about your knowledge and how to use your body and your body weight if necessary, especially if you're working on a big person, to release tension from the muscles. I've been a natural at this kind of thing. You know what I mean? I've been the type of person that anything I do and put my mind to, it doesn't take me long to master it. You know what I mean? I just have to do it. And that's a key thing for yourself. Sometimes you don't know what you're good at until you actually take the first step and learn to do it. The first steps are not always easy. You're not going to be a master at whatever it is you try the first time you do it, but you have to take the first step to learn. You have to be willing to learn. You have to be willing to fail. You understand? You have to be willing to fall. You understand? But fall forwards. And if you fall, you can get up. Do you understand? So anyway, I've given him this massage. I've only ever given him one. After this massage, remember, we're in a small West Country community. My brother would tell everybody, see, Regal's too muscle up, man, paying up and all of these things. But he would say it in a way that was so humorous and comical and engaging with all these people that he knew, because he's older than me. Yeah. So when I'm saying to people now, I do massage, they would say to me, don't know about that. I heard from your brother, you know, and he said, This is my older brother. You're supposed to be supporting me, not trying to fight me down. Do you get me? This went on for years, over a decade. And I didn't understand why he was still telling people this. He only ever had one massage. And obviously, in a decade, I got really good. I was much better than I was the first time I massaged. You understand? But I didn't understand why he was doing this. You get me? Sabotaging my business, sabotaging my name, going behind my back trying to belittle me and make me look small. He wasn't doing anything spectacular with his life. Do you understand? The most he was doing, which I can talk because it's documented, he's gone to jail for it already. The most he was doing was street life. Do you understand? Road things. You know what I mean? A lot of people in this day and age glorify the road life like it's, you know, it's hip, it's something to be, it's the lick, it's the ting. Yeah, you can get things, but there's more to life than being a street man or a street woman. You know what I mean? Build your mind. You know what I mean? Get some education. You get me? Find out what your dreams are and work towards it. You see me? That was my mindset. His mindset was something totally different. Toxic relationships, it's a thing. How do you navigate it? How did I navigate it? I didn't know I was going through it for so long. So eventually I started to distance myself. I realized when I'd say stuff and ask for support, there was no support. You understand? The only time there was support when it benefited him or benefited them, whoever these toxic relationships was, because there was many of them, not just him. The women that I was around and personal relationships, toxic. You know what I mean? Family members, oh my gosh, it wasn't just my mum, it wasn't just my brother, there's others, uncles, aunties, cousins. It was peak. I didn't realize that I was under these type of attacks until recent years. You see me? But what I realized is that going through these constant narcissistic, I call them Oscar prick attacks. I call them Oscar prick. I learned tools on how to maneuver, manage myself, protect myself, deal with toxic people. I learned how to do this because remember, as a youth, I would observe. The Cancerian in me would go into my shell, keep myself to myself, observe patterns of behavior and maneuver around it so it wouldn't affect me emotionally, mentally, or in any other way. Do you understand? Oscar prick. I wrote a book called Dear Oscar, Narcissist in My Business. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out on my website. You can check it out on zedregalmindset.com. Go and check it out. It's a humorous, real journey of 2-year experience of a narcissist in my business. This relationship, it opened my eyes to so much. It opened my eyes to what I've been subjected to my whole life. It opened my eyes to what I was actually going through with this person, because he used every tool in the book to try and get me down. But because my whole life was geared around narcissism from I was birth, I knew how to deal with these tools. The empath in me knew how to deal with these tools. The Sigma in me knew how to deal with these narcissistic tools instinctively. This 2-year relationship showed me that. And by the time I got to the place of saying, all right, I've had enough, it's time to lock you off and make an exit strategy. And once I exited it, that relationship, it opened my eyes to everything that I'd ever gone through from birth until present day. Do you understand? Which helped me even more put up more boundaries. Do you know what I mean? To the things that I would accept. I still give with love, but now I understand that not everybody deserves my time and energy. You can't give to some people because all they want to do is take, and they're not for you in the way that you're for them. Do you understand? Dealing with toxic energies can be draining. Sometimes we don't know that we're in them, but when we're in them, sometimes it can feel good, but most of the time it doesn't. It feels like you've lost control. Do you understand? So if you want to find out tools and how to deal with toxic people, you need to get my book, Dear Oscar, Narcissist in My Business. It's like a handbook, a tool book to help you deal with toxic people, narcissists. You know what I mean? Highly recommend you read it. You know what I mean? There's an audio book and there's a paperback as well. Do you understand? So remember, the mindset, it always matters. It always matters. And my journey in life, it's the very thing that qualifies me to help you get from one place to another. You understand? My life has always been about finding and achieving balance. And that's the foundation for my ability to teach and heal. And that's the art of skidangle boom, which means the balance in all things. You see me? Stay locked in. We'll talk about it later.